So in this class, we will see the pancreas. It's an important essay for you. Last class we have seen the duodenum. In continuation of this, if you read this pancreas, it will be easy for you. It's a soft lobulated gland with very little connective tissue, consisting of both an exocrine and endocrine parts. Situation lies behind the stomach. In the stomach bed, we have learned, separated by the cavity of lesser sac. If you compare the situation in relation to the quadrants, it occupies the posterior part of the epigastrium and left hypochondrium. So epigastrium, anterior part of epigastrium is occupied by the stomach. Posterior part of the epigastrium is occupied by the pancreas. And hypochondrium, left hypochondrium, spleen occupies the anterior part. Posterior part is occupied by the pancreas. Shape of the pancreas, it is retard shape. So that this bowl of the retard represents the head of the pancreas. Length is 12 to 15 centimeter, breadth is 3 to 4 centimeter, thickness is 1.5 to 2 centimeter, and its approximate weight is 80 grams. Presenting parts of the pancreas. From right to left, the pancreas presents head, neck, body, and tail. Head is within the curve of the C-shaped curve of the duodenum. Neck is in front of the formation of the portal vein. Body is from the front of the aorta to the front of the left kidney. Tail is in between the two layers of the lienorenal ligament. So you will see these parts of the pancreas one by one. So the head of the pancreas is the enlarged right extremity of the pancreas. As we told, it is in the C-shaped curve of the duodenum. It is flattened. This head of the pancreas will be flattened so that it will have two surfaces and four borders. And it is slightly at a lower level than the body, opposite to the L1 and L2 vertebrae. Head presents, as it is flattened, two surfaces, anterior and posterior, four borders, upper, lower, right and left, and there is one process known as uncinate. Uncinate means hook-like. So this process is known as uncinate process. Anterior surface. So this head presents the anterior surface. What is the relation of anterior surface? If you remember the relation of the second part of the duodenum, so that from the second part of the duodenum, it will be continuous with the anterior surface of the head of the pancreas. So what is that? It is related with transverse colon, posterior surface, related, it is non-peritoneal, and it is related with same like the third part of the duodenum. What are the relations of the third part of the posterior relations of the third part of the duodenum? If you recollect, inferior vena cava. So on both renal veins, right crest of the diaphragm and the bile duct. So separated by the inferior vena cava. So behind the inferior vena cava, we will have the right sympathetic trunk and right psoas major. At least if you remember this, inferior vena cava and right crest of the diaphragm for the posterior relations of the head of the pancreas. Borders. So what are the borders? Upper border medial border, lateral border, and the lower borders. They will be related to the duodenum. So that is the borders of the pancreas. Except this left border, it will be the junction of the head and neck of the pancreas. So head we have completed. Last is the uncinate process of the pancreas, which is the lower projection of the head of the pancreas. The triangular projection from the lower and left part of the head. So what is the relation of uncinate process of the pancreas and the third part of the duodenum? Superior mesenteric vessels. And it is slightly posterior than the rest of the gland. So in this, you can see the relations of the head of the pancreas and the uncinate process. Head of the pancreas, as I was describing, same like second part of the duodenum, anterior surface related to the transverse colon. Here also head of the pancreas, the cut end of the transverse colon is seen. Are you seeing this cut end? So this transverse colon will pass on over the second part of the duodenum and the head of the pancreas. Posterior surface of the head of the pancreas is related to the inferior vena cava and the right crus of the diaphragm. So this is the diaphragm. So that here will be the right crus of the diaphragm. Borders of the pancreas are overlapped by the, so this is the upper border of the head of the pancreas and this is the right border, lower border. They will be related to the adjacent parts of the duodenum. And this is the uncinate process, hook-like process, which will be related to the superior mesenteric vessels, same like the third part of the duodenum. In front, superior mesenteric vessels, the vein lies on the right side of the artery, behind abdominal aorta. Above is the left renal vein. Neck. Neck is a short part, connects the head with the body, 2 centimeter long. So, which is the important formation of portal vein we should remember is behind the neck of the pancreas. This body, we should now see the body of the pancreas. It is prismoid in appearance so that it is triangular on cross section. Head, you should understand it is flattened and had only 2 surfaces. But if you see this body of the pancreas, it is triangular and it has 3 surfaces. It will have 3 surfaces and 3 borders. Extent of the body of the pancreas from the front of the aorta to the front of the left kidney. It presents 3 surfaces. Body presents 3 surfaces, anterior surface, inferior surface and posterior surface. Otherwise, anterosuperior and anteroinferior surface and posterior surface. So anterior, we have anterosuperior and anteroinferior. Like that we should remember, like triangle in the front, anterosuperior and anteroinferior. So 3 borders are superior border, anterior border and inferior borders. Anterior surface. So this is the surface which you learnt in the stomach bed. Postero-inferior surface of the, it is related to the postero-inferior surface of the stomach, forming the stomach bed behind the lesser sac. Inferior surface, it is easy. What will be below the inferior surface? Duodenojejunal flexure, coils of jejunum and left colic flexure. So in this you can see the surfaces of the pancreas. So this is the surface, what we are telling, anterosuperior or anterior surface. So that is that surface related to the stomach bed, it is behind the stomach. So it is related to the postero-inferior surface of the stomach, forming the stomach bed. This is the inferior surface. So here will be the coils of the jejunum and this is the duodenojejunal flexure. So it is related to duodenojejunal flexure. What is this surface? Inferior surface or anteroinferior surface? Related to the duodenojejunal flexure, coils of jejunum. Here will be the left colic flexure, junction of transverse colon and the descending colon. So we have finished the two surfaces, anterior and the inferior surfaces. Posterior surface is entirely non-peritoneal. Abdominal aorta with the origin of the superior mesenteric artery, left crus of the diaphragm, left psoas major, and sympathetic trunk. So all this form the posterior surface of the relations of the body of the pancreas. So all this, if you remember in the duodenum class, this abdominal up to the abdominal aorta is the posterior relation of third part of duodenum. This will form the posterior relation of the fourth part of the duodenum. So all this will come under the posterior relations of the body of the pancreas. Also the left suprarenal gland. So the same diagram which we explained for the duodenum, same thing you can understand in this. This is the anterior surface of the anterosuperior surface of the body of the pancreas, and this is the anteroinferior surface or inferior surface related to duodenojejunal flexure, coils of jejunum, and left colic flexure, nicely shown in this. Posterior surface which we are not seeing, but you can see behind what are present: abdominal aorta, left crus of the diaphragm, left suprarenal gland, left kidney, left psoas major. So all these form the posterior relations of the body of the pancreas. But if you see, all this will be separated from these structures by the superior mesenteric vein, which is the main posterior relation of the body of the pancreas. So all the structures, left kidney, left renal vessels, all form the posterior relations of the body of the pancreas. And also the left suprarenal and left gonadal veins. So this is the not superior mesenteric vein. Splenic vein separates this, all the, what we have told, all the relations of the posterior surface of the body of the pancreas. So these above mentioned structures are separated from the pancreas by the splenic vein, which runs in a groove from the left to right and receives the inferior mesenteric vein. So what is the immediate relation of the posterior surface of the body of the pancreas is the splenic vein. Now borders. So we have finished the three surfaces. It is easy to remember. Superior surface is related to stomach bed. Inferior surface is related to duodenojejunal flexure, coils of jejunum, and left colic flexure. Posterior surface, splenic vein, separates all the structures from the posterior surface. Now superior border of the body of the pancreas, we have learned one artery runs along the superior border of the body of the pancreas in the celiac trunk class. What is that artery which runs to reach the spleen? Splenic artery. Yes, left side of the tuber omentale, tortuous splenic artery. So what is this tuber omentale? The superior border of the body of pancreas presents a conical projection called tuber omentale. So just above the tuber omentale, celiac artery. To the right side of the tuber, hepatic artery, but the main artery which runs over the upper border of the body of the pancreas is tortuous splenic artery. Tuber omentale of liver, now you should recollect, and in that we have told these two tuber omentale are separated by the cavity of lesser sac. So this is what we are describing. So this is the upper border presenting the tuber omentale, which is related to the origin of celiac trunk. So to the right of tuber omentale, superior border of the body of the pancreas, artery which runs is the hepatic artery, common hepatic artery. So to the left of this tuberomental, the tortuous splenic artery. So this is the superior border. Between the superior surface and inferior surface, there will be the anterior border here. Okay, there will be the anterior border here. So what is attached to this? So this is the superior surface forming the stomach bed. This is the inferior surface. Between these two surfaces, there will be a border called anterior border, which will give attachment to one peritoneal fold between the transverse colon and the pancreas. What is that? Transverse mesocolon. Yes, it gives attachment to the root of the transverse mesocolon. Inferior border will be related to the superior mesenteric vessels at the right end. So we have completed the three borders also. Superior border, mainly you should remember the splenic artery. Anterior border, attachment of the root of transverse mesocolon. Inferior border, superior mesenteric vessels to the right of the border. Now we have come to the tail of the pancreas. What is the tail is? It is narrow left end of the gland which passes between the lienorenal ligament and reaches the spleen. So it is the most mobile part of the gland and it's a higher level than the head, opposite the lower border of T12. Head is at the level of L1, L2. Tail is at the level of T12 vertebra. Now you can understand how the pancreas is situated in the oblique direction from above downwards from the tail to the head. Tail of the pancreas relations. In front again it is related to the stomach bed. Stomach separated by the lesser sac. Behind is spleen and splenic vessels. Below is the left colic flexure. So we will now come to the pancreatic ducts. This pancreatic ducts is again, it may be asked the short notes for you. We have completed still now the presenting parts of the pancreas, head which has two surfaces and four borders, neck which is short part which connects the head and the body. Body is triangular and it is in cross section. It has three surfaces and three borders. Superior surface, inferior surface and posterior surface. Superior border, inferior border and anterior borders. Tail is the most mobile part of the gland which lies at a higher level, T12 level than the head which is at the L1 to L2 level. So we have completed that. We will now see the pancreatic ducts which is seen cut to the pancreas is cut open to see the pancreatic ducts as if it will resemble the herringbone pattern. So that one fish bone pattern, this is resembling, if you dissect the pancreas, you will see like this. So that is the main duct of pancreas, duct of Wirsung. So it is beginning in the tail by the number of smaller ducts, passes from left to right through the body, as if it is in the midway between the upper margins and lower margins of the body of the pancreas, and it is close to the posterior surface, so that it will receive so many small ducts like this. So it is described as herringbone pattern. Are you seeing it is receiving the bile duct also? Then opening into the major duodenal papilla. Both ducts pierce the duodenal wall separately, but later unite to form the ampulla of the Vater, which opens on the summit of the major duodenal papilla about 8 to 10 centimeter distal to the pylorus. So you are using the other pancreatic duct, accessory pancreatic duct. So accessory pancreatic duct which drains the uncinate process and lower part of the head of the pancreas, so that it will be opening into the minor duodenal papilla, which is about 2 centimeter above the major duodenal papilla. So the accessory pancreatic duct will be also called as duct of Santorini. So these ducts of the pancreas, how they are formed in the embryology, if you have seen, then you can understand how this is. One duct is major pancreatic duct and another is the accessory pancreatic duct. So blood supply of the pancreas. Blood supply of the pancreas, it's the one diagram nicely representing the blood supply of the whole parts. Head and neck, head of the pancreas is mainly supplied by the superior pancreaticoduodenal and the inferior pancreaticoduodenal arteries. Body of the pancreas is mainly supplied by the pancreatic branches of the splenic artery. So the corresponding veins will be draining into the portal vein. Now we will come to the applied anatomy of the pancreas. Annular pancreas. So in any applied anatomy, if you try to write like congenital, infective, then lastly will be the tumors. That will be the easy way to remember. So here annular pancreas is the congenital abnormality when during formed because of the non-fusion of the ventral and the dorsal pancreatic buds, so that they surround around the second part of the duodenum. So this is the infection of the pancreas, acute pancreatitis, severe epigastric pain. So the epigastric pain, you have to remember two structures, stomach and pancreas. So we have to confirm whether it is the pain of stomach or the pain of the pancreatitis. Chronic pancreatitis will lead to the pancreatic pseudocyst, so that the cyst will be present behind the stomach. Pancreatic carcinoma, mainly involving the head of the pancreas. So this may obstruct the bile duct. So the patient complaint will be only jaundice. The problem is in the head of the pancreas. Presentation is like a jaundice. We have to investigate and find out. Sometimes may compress, this carcinoma may compress the portal vein. So the presentation of the patient may be the portal hypertension and ascites. We have to confirm whether the head carcinoma of the head of the pancreas is present. Carcinoma of the body of the pancreas is also difficult to diagnose. The complaint of the main complaint in these persons will be the low back pain. So often they land up with the orthopedic experts and they come late to the diagnosis of the carcinoma of the body of the pancreas. So I think you should have understood this important topic, pancreas. The last applied anatomy is the superior mesenteric vein thrombosis, compression between the uncinate process and inferior body of the border of the body of pancreas may cause this superior mesenteric vein, which is passing in front of the uncinate process. So I think you should have understood this pancreas, which is an important essay for the theory exams, or this duodenum and pancreas specimen may be given to you for the anatomy practical exams. So you have to discuss the presenting parts of the pancreas mainly with the examiner. You have to describe the parts, head, neck, body and tail of the pancreas, and I have to describe head has two surfaces and four borders. Body has three surfaces and three borders and their relations. And we have seen also this duct of the pancreas, blood supply of the pancreas, applied anatomy of the pancreas. So with this, we will complete this class and we will continue with the portal vein in the next class.